This is the anthem. Here's what you came for. This is the moment. Magic was made for. Come on, let's light up the sky now. You feel the magic happening right now.
Hello there. Welcome back to Fan Fatales.
Take a ride with us on the Hogwarts Express.
Walk down Main Street with our best super pals.
And defy gravity as we talk about all things fandom.
Hello, and welcome back to Fan Fatales, a member of the Real Fans Podcast Network. I'm Emma.
And I'm Gabby, and happy Women's History Month.
Yes.
So the month of March, as we know, is Women's History Month. So this month we're going to talk about all about, female
Empowerment and characters.
Empowerment, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm very excited for next week's episode that we'll talk more about in the outro.
Yes. But today we're going to talk about some of our favorite female characters and in, the fandoms that we normally talk about.
And then we have another category that is just like general.
Extra.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So shall we get started with the first fandom on our list?
Yeah.
So Star Wars.
Yeah, you all knew this was coming, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how we met, was because of Star Wars, so
yeah.
Of course it has to be first on our list.
Yeah. Yo, I'm waiting for this one.
Yeah. And I wonder who my favorite character is, as I see 3 pictures of her on my desk alone.
Who could it possibly be? Not even a clue.
Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, she came with visuals. I'm not this prepared.
Again, it's on my desk.
2 visuals.
Yeah. I don't know. I love Ahsoka. I know that we'll maybe talk about her more with a special guest we have coming on, hopefully this month.
Yeah, we definitely will.
We definitely will. But so I got into Star Wars right around when Rebels started. And I remember little, 13, 14, however old I was when Rebels started, year-old me watching Ahsoka go down the little ladder at the end of season 1. Me being like, who is she? And then watching Clone Wars, and I just love her resilience through the whole thing and her power, and I loved getting to see a female Jedi for the first time in the leading role rather than it be Anakin or Luke or Obi-Wan.
Absolutely. I completely agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was really influential. And, I mean, she's the reason that my Instagram is Snippy Emma, because she snips. And
yeah.
Not only do I love her resilience and her character arc throughout everything and her kindness and everything, it kind of brought in the actress in my decision of choosing my favorite female character. Ashley Eckstein is such a huge role model when it comes to fangirl culture. I mean,
absolutely.
Starting her universe. I know we've talked about it before, where she started her universe because there were no clothing for women.
Yeah. That was Star Wars.
That was Star Wars. And I don't know, Ahsoka and Ashley just are really impactful. Of course, there were so many others that I wanted to put on the list. Leia, Harris, and Syndulla. I know that we'll talk about the other one I have. Or even Senator Tucci from Clone Wars.
Yeah.
She, spoiler alert, because you haven't seen Bad Batch season 2 yet. But we do
take my headphones out?
Yeah. So, spoiler alert, we do get to see her in Clone Wars, or in Bad Batch season 2. and seeing her kind of take on like the clones protection agency through the Senate and everything, and seeing her Gabby's just silently in the corner, but like getting to see her power and everything, and her really take on a Senate role, and be her own person, and kind of take on what we saw Padme do throughout the Clone Wars with protecting the clones, was really powerful to see in a world where Padme is gone.
I just probably exploded Kira's eardrums by accidentally smacking my phone into my microphone, and I'm very sorry. But also, look at how cute this puppy is.
Oh,
He looks so sad.
yeah. You should post that on the Fan Fatale story.
Post it.
Yeah. On the Fan Fatale story, so
Just no context.
for tomorrow's episode, or for Thursday's episode, since this will come out on Thursday.
Yeah. Wait, if you want to see the picture from Thursday's episode, go check out our story. I'll post it.
Our story highlights.
Yeah. Our story highlights. I'm just going to post it, no context. None.
Okay. But yeah, basically kind of what I was talking about, when your headphones were gone, was just the empowerment and how we get to see these women not just be on the battlefield as Jedi, but in the Senate chambers and higher power political positions. I mean, even Satine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mandalore. And how strong they are in their position and how sure they are in what they believe in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a big thing with, like, all of these Star Wars women that we've talked about before. And not just Star Wars. And the Marvel women we're going to talk about, and the Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
Even Disney.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to post this to the story.
No
context.
No context.
No context whatsoever. And I'm going to put it under 2023. That's where it's going.
Okay. So, shall we talk about the only woman I haven't really spoken at length about at this point, with Hera and all of them?
Yeah, because, I mean, clearly who else could it be besides Padme? I mean...
Oh, I just realized we didn't talk about Rey, but Rey falls into the empowered category.
Oh, totally. And Rose,
And all of them.
all of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm talking about Padme.
Yeah.
Y'all know, she's my fave. And she's pretty freaking badass. I mean, she
really stands up for what she believes in.
She really does. And she does not take flack from anybody.
Nope.
She does what she wants, when she wants, and does it well.
Yeah. I don't know.
I think she also just falls into that whole empowered women thing, like
yeah.
you were talking about. I mean, it encompasses so many characters, which I think is really awesome.
Yeah, a thing I like about Padme, and this kind of talks about, I forget which book it is the epilogue of, but it's after her funeral, and Sabe's going through all of, like, the files on her desk of, like, acts and stuff that she didn't get to accomplish before she passed. And one of them was to free slaves across the galaxy.
Yeah.
Inspired by Anakin and his mother.
Shmi.
And what? And
Shmi.
Yes. Which another great woman Shmi is. But her, like, really getting, standing up for what she believes in. And I think that scene with that act that she tried to get past really proves it.
Yeah, absolutely. She really cared about the changing of the galaxy for everybody.
Yeah.
And
whether it be clones or slaves or anyone in the galaxy, rather. Yeah.
Which makes me think that that's why I believe that she's like a really good role model alongside Ahsoka.
Oh, yeah. I agree.
Okay. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Have we beat this dead horse? I feel like we've talked so at length about wonderful Star Wars women.
Yeah.
Like, just not today, like, in general. Like, we have many episodes about that, so I feel like, what more could we cover, you know?
Exactly. So, shall we move into Marvel?
Yes, and we're gonna start with my favorite, who I'm also cosplaying as this year again at Comic-Con. Different outfit, this time with a wig. Fancy wig.
Ooh.
I got I got a wig from the Beautician Beast.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really excited. And it's Peggy Carter, my babe, my fave. I mean, first of all, like, she just, like, in the first Captain America movie, love her. She's such a force to be reckoned with, especially in a movie that's, like, all about, like, military personnel, right? Like, that's, like, the big focus is that a lot of it happens with military personnel, and it's during World War II, and she stands her own in a room full of men.
Yes.
And is not afraid to speak her mind, and does. And then they listen to her.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it takes a little bit of fight to get them to listen to her, but she does it. I think in the Peggy Carter series, they don't listen as well as the military boys do in the movie.
Yeah.
But she's still a very strong force to be reckoned with. And she, you know, she's just wonderful throughout that whole series. I have to go back and watch it again. I haven't seen it in a long time, but
I don't think I've seen it.
oh, it's wonderful. It is so good.
I know, I need to see it.
You get so much content with Jarvis in it.
Yeah.
And then you get Mrs. Jarvis. Oh my gosh. Mrs. Jarvis, what a queen, though. Literally the queen of seamstressing. Yeah. Anyway, so I love her. I think she is a strong female role model in a time where women were supposed to be, you know, I mean, I think this is when like the role of women was seen as more than just the submissive housewife. Like, women were encouraged and kind of expected to help on the home front when it came to, like, munitions and working in factories and picking up the slack for the men who all had to go to war, right? And so I think she's a really awesome lady.
Yeah.
Yep, that's my thought. I mean, you know me, I'm a World War II buff, so, like, I know. I watch shows, I read books, I don't know why, I'm just obsessed with that period of time.
So mine is a pretty new one to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, being
super new.
I mean, fall of 2021.
Yeah,
for
that's
like
still
2
pretty
years.
new.
Yeah. Being Kate Bishop, who I'm actually, she's on my cosplaying list for this year. For home at. I'm excited.
That's fun.
Yeah, I'm very excited. I don't know, I just really love her. I think I see a lot of myself in her, like I do Kamala. Kamala was up there for me trying to figure it out. But what it comes down to is there's a scene at the very beginning of Kate Bishop as like a young child during the 2012 Avengers fight. I don't know if you've seen the show. No? Okay. Where one of the aliens from the 2012 Avengers film is trying to attack her apartment, and she sees Hawkeye save the day and shoot and kill the alien that's about to attack her in her home. And that makes her want to go into archery. I want to help people just like he did.
That's so cute.
And then, you know, she becomes his little apprentice in the show.
I love that.
And I just love her dearly, not just because of that, but because she's this strong female. I think she's supposed to be 22, which I'm now 22.
Yeah.
Like, she's literally my age, and seeing this strong woman who is legit a senior in college go through all of the trials and tribulations of being a Marvel superhero, well, dealing with college. Because we've seen it with Peter, but as a high schooler. We haven't really had the college yet. But also seeing her interact with another very new, strong female character in the Marvel Cinematic Universe being Yelena Belova.
Yes.
And just seeing them banter off of each other and seeing like these two people who had completely different lifestyles growing up.
Absolutely.
And
they
how they become like the hero kind of I don't want to say Yelena's an anti-hero, but in the show she's kind of portrayed that way. But she becomes the hero near the end, and she and Kate Bishop start like working out the things at the beginning of the show. You know?
Yeah. I mean, I still haven't seen the show, so.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just really love Kate Bishop. But again, this is another great example of strong female characters. I mean, it wasn't always that as strong as it is now.
I agree.
Marvel.
I completely agree. I mean, think about how many, especially in the past, like, year, how many have been, well, a few years, you know?
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think my honorable mentions would have gone to literally all of the women in Black Panther because they're all amazing.
Also, yeah, Shuri, come on, let's be honest. She was just in the new one. The new girl.
Angela Bassett's character?
No.
Oh, I don't know about the new girl.
Ironheart.
I can't remember. I'm the worst with their names. Any names. Honestly, it took me forever to like learn the names of the characters in the show that I'm watching.
Riri Williams.
Yeah.
I was like, Riki Williams? I knew it was something with that. Yeah,
Plus,
Riri Williams.
I mean, plus you get all these like young new actresses who are just breaking out into the acting sphere, and you also get like veterans like Angela Bassett who have been doing this for forever.
And like, oh my gosh, because I just rewatched Black Panther: Wakanda Forever with my mom.
Oh yeah.
She hadn't seen it yet. And near the beginning, she's like, yes, I know that my kingdom may seem like it's suffering to you because we just lost my son. But I am the queen of Wakanda, this strong nation.
Mm-hmm.
Do not mess with us.
Absolutely. Like, chills. Literal chills.
Yeah. And I mean, I love the fact that Wakanda is so, like, matriarchy based that all of the soldiers are women.
Women. Absolutely. I mean, I think it goes without saying that that is, like, one of the most influential Marvel stories to date.
Yeah.
Because not only are they women, they're also women of color.
Yeah.
I mean, Wakanda is like an imaginary African nation, but they kill it.
Still.
And they like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like I can't speak on this as well as someone who is, you know, an African American person could, but I feel like they really respect that culture while still engaging in it, right? It's not like you can't tell that's where they are, you know?
Yeah.
Like but it's not done in a distasteful way.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Am I making sense here?
Yes, you are.
Okay. I'm like treading very lightly.
And another woman from Wakanda that I love is Okoye.
Oh, how can you not?
Female spy, like,
I mean, come on.
She really saves the day in Wakanda Forever.
Oh,
then,
yeah.
And then, spoiler alert for Wakanda Forever. I know we've talked about it, but
yeah,
her son, right, like this strong black single mom raising the prince of Wakanda.
Yeah.
In secret in Haiti.
Yeah. It's just good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus,
but there's so many great women.
There are. But I just cannot get over Angela Bassett's performance.
Oh, same. She deserves the Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in a Leading Film.
Absolutely.
Or
100%
in a
deserved.
Featured film.
Absolutely deserved. Absolutely deserved.
I know it's only a nomination right now, but she better win.
I know. Like I said, when we did the Oscar nominations thing, I'm gonna be pissed if she doesn't win.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be so mad. Literally, that whole movie gave me chills. Every time she spoke,
Same.
I was like, ah.
Same.
I was like, Angela Bassett.
Yeah, I love her. Angela Bassett did the thing. So shall we move on to Disney, which is another huge... So this was a hard category for me. Not really, but like, there's so many.
I feel like we need two separate ones, because like from the Disney Princess franchise and then not from the Disney Princess franchise, because I don't think it's fair that we only did one, because obviously we're just gonna pick our favorite princesses because they're amazing. I mean, Bella's like sorry, I just totally ruined it. I mean, was anybody surprised though? We knew. We knew. We knew.
And we already kind of know the reason why. But I have I have my favorite in the princess franchise woman that I could talk about.
My other favorite is also in the Disney Princess franchise.
Well,
because I was gonna say Merida because I think she's freaking awesome and I love her movie and like
And of course, your favorite that you listed for princess is Rapunzel.
I mean, everybody knows it was Rapunzel.
But I think my favorite, if it wasn't a Disney princess, would have to be Mary Poppins.
That's a good one.
Yeah. One, I grew up with Julie Andrews' performance in that movie, and it was influential to my childhood. I was a young performer.
Oh, agreed. That movie was on repeat on my house. At
my
house.
Same.
I love that movie.
That and I know it's not Disney now owns it, but it wasn't
Anastasia
made by Disney. No.
Oh.
I was gonna say another Julie Andrews film.
Oh, Sound of Music.
Yes. That was another one always playing. Like, Julie Andrews was just so influential, so I feel like it's also more of the actress than the character.
I got my Julie Andrews character that's not Mary Poppins. Or Maria.
Queen, Clarice Rinaldi?
Yeah.
How did I know?
Because she's a badass!
Yeah. There's just so many Disney women that I love. And I mean, even my, like, other categories, kind of Disney, because Disney made the movie. Yeah. But, I mean, I can mention it here. I can name another other for me.
Let's save yours. Yours is really good.
Okay.
I think if it had to be not from a princess, that's also not Julie Andrews. I think. Oh, geez, this is a tough one.
I have a Disney Channel one, mostly because I've been rewatching this show.
Go for it.
Harper Finkel from Wizards of Waverly Place.
What a queen. Yes. Love.
She is so confident in herself. Like, in her outfit choices and everything.
I mean, they're iconic.
Oh, they so are. And I've also been listening to,
the podcast?
The actor, the Wizards of Waverly pod. And, Jennifer Stone, who played Harper. She was talking about how that was...
Isn't she a nurse now?
Yes. So, but she was talking about how that was her first comedy role, how she had only done dramas up until then.
Oh, wow. And she's like the comedic relief, like one of them.
Yeah, she's one of them. And
I guess they all kind of are.
Yeah, it's a comedic sitcom.
It really is. So that was a dumb comment.
But she was talking about how hard it was for her to play it in the beginning because she wasn't used to the comedic timing and all that stuff, and how she really like relied on the ensemble cast, especially the guy who played Jerry Russo, who is her co-host now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay.
I've named a bunch.
I know you have. You've named a lot of good ones. Okay. Now I have to actually choose. I think. Oh Jesus, this one's hard.
Yeah. That's kind
I
of what I
could
did
gush
in the
about
middle.
Rapunzel all day, but like make me choose somebody else.
We've already talked about our favorite princesses at length on the show.
Yeah,
I
somebody
think
that's
it'd be
not
rehashing.
I think all of the princesses are pretty awesome.
Yeah.
They
I'm
would all be
excited
my
to see
first choices.
Asha, the new one that comes out this year,
Yes, that one will be
and
good.
her story.
I think
But then,
I know who I'm choosing.
okay, who?
I'm choosing Mirabelle because she's not a princess yet.
Yes. There you go. You see, I was also
Also-
going to choose one that wasn't technically in the princess category, even though she'll be at Princess Night this year.
Who?
Giselle.
Giselle is another good one. Also, Mal from Descendants.
Oh, that's a good one. That's your Disney Channel one?
Yeah. No, well, yeah. That's my Disney Channel one. I was gonna say a High School Musical character, but then I was like, no. All the women in that, on that movie franchise are kind of problematic.
Yeah.
Like, as much as I love them, they're also, like, in high school, and they're catty and mean.
Yeah.
So, not that, like, they're not allowed to have flaws.
No.
Because they definitely are. I think Mal is much
I know what you're saying.
better of a role model.
Yeah.
Also, Uma, she's a badass.
Yeah. But yeah, they're
anything-
at Princess
anything
Night
China
this
Emma
year
Clan.
at Disneyland. They're having the princess franchise characters plus Anna and Elsa because they always lump them
Yeah.
with the princess franchise characters. But then they're also having Princess Leia appear in
Fun.
Tomorrowland. What?
Fun.
And Giselle appear in the parade. We don't know what outfit for Giselle because it's the first time she'll ever be in the parks.
I hope it's the pink one.
I feel like it's either going to be the blue carpet one or the wedding dress.
I think you're right. I think it might be the blue curtain one.
That's the one I can see them easily just throwing on
But the
someone.
pink one is so good.
And plus, it's only in a parade, so I could see them going full out with the wedding.
They could, but she only wears... I guess that is pretty iconic.
That's more iconic than the pink.
Not as iconic as the blue, though.
No.
Do you think they'll
But who
put her in
knows?
something from the new movie?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
But maybe.
I wish... You know what would be awesome if they got actually Amy Adams and Maya Rudolph? You're telling me they wouldn't love that? They would absolutely eat that up. Maya Rudolph would.
Maya Rudolph would.
She'd be like, I'm here. I'm ready.
You know who I forgot was in Wizards? Yvette Nicole Brown. She's in like 2 episodes of Wizards. In the first season.
As who?
She's like the evil teacher lady when Justin's doing the like ping pong tournament thing that is trying to take his wizard powers. It's in the first season of the show, and I was like,
I've only seen a handful of episodes.
okay.
I do remember Haley Kiyoko was on that show for a little bit, wasn't she?
Yeah. But I
Yeah.
don't know.
Okay.
Disney just has a lot of strong women.
Yeah. I mean, I also was really close to choosing Duchess also
That's another good one.
from Aristocats. Although,
Yeah.
I don't think she's as strong as some other female characters like Meg and Esmeralda, who we didn't even talk about yet. I
Hold
don't even
on
know
up.
how we didn't.
I'm sorry. Meg. Also, this is kind of getting a little off topic, but also on topic with Meg. Have you seen the Hercules out of Broadway tryout costumes and like all of that?
Mm-mm.
They released production photos today, and I was like, hold on. Let me send it
I
to
must
you.
say
But
though, I think that Esmeralda is much more like stand on her own than Meg is.
I agree, especially that, what is when they're at the Festival of the Fools, and she's like
Yeah.
facing off with Judge Frollo.
Yeah, and she like calls everybody out and she's like, "What are you doing? This poor man, like leave him alone." And then like the whole thing, even with like oh gosh, what is it? I can hear the song playing. The Court of Miracles.
Oh,
no.
Court of Miracles.
The whole thing with the Court of Miracles when they're like, oh my gosh, come on, and she and freaking yeah, and the guy who's the blonde kid. That's not even important. I mean, he's kind of important, but like I can't even remember his name.
What
That's
is
how
his name?
little I care about him.
Oh my god, that's gonna drive me freaking insane.
I just know there's like a joke about his horse. His horse is Achilles, I think. Maybe
Clopin?
No, not Clopin.
That's the thing.
He's the mime, not the mime guy, the puppet guy.
Yeah.
The only reason I like vividly remember that
Phoebus.
is because yes.
Also,
That's
I
his
forgot
name.
that Jason Alexander was in that film.
Who's Jason Alexander?
He's one of the stone people.
I do love the gargoyles.
The gargoyles. That's what they're actually called.
I just think Hunchback is such a good movie. It's just so good.
Hunchback is an amazing movie, and it's an amazing stage show.
It is. It's just everything about Hunchback is beautiful.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe minus like Frollo and his whole deal, but like,
especially in the stage show, because
yeah,
everyone dies.
Yeah, like the stage show's pretty messed up, but like,
the stage show's what the book is more so.
Yeah, but here's the thing. It's so good. It's just so good, and oh, I love.
Ooh, another one we
time...
talked about on Valentine's Day, Lady.
Yes, Lady. Although I feel like, yeah, okay, Lady's a pretty good one.
Specifically in the new one.
Yeah, because in the first one, I feel like stuff just kind of happens to her. Versus,
kind of like Aurora.
Yeah.
Versus no offense, Aurora.
I love her, but yes. Versus in the newer one, she takes more charge of things. She like actively goes out and does stuff, which I like better.
Yeah.
But really quick, I was gonna say, every time like Ren Fair season comes around, I throw on the entire Hunchback soundtrack and just listen to it while I'm like sewing my costume and like getting ready for Ren Fair.
Love that.
Yeah,
I love that.
And I get so excited. And then the whole way there, I'm like dancing to the Court of Miracles song and the Topsy Turvy Day song. Okay.
Kind of like me with Hercules. That soundtrack I'm always playing. I think I've talked about it before on here, but when I went to MegaCon and like seeing the convention center with the MegaCon signs, it was, I am on my way.
Yeah.
I can go the distance.
I mean,
yeah.
I can we gush more about Disney characters? I feel like we've talked about so many. I mean, within the Princess franchise, there are so many wonderful characters. I mean, people don't like Cinderella because they think she's not. They think her whole goal was to go to the ball to meet the guy, but that wasn't her goal. She just wanted a night to herself.
Yes. And I mean, look at Cinderella 3, A Twist in Time.
Yeah.
How strong of a woman she is.
I know. That was one of my favorites. Plus, like, Tiana and, like, Merida, like I already said. And...
yeah, and Tiana's actually, and I forgot to mention this, but Tiana, the character, was based on Cook from New Orleans.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I forget her name, but I found that out recently, and I was like, I wish we knew this before.
That's awesome.
Doing that episode. Let me find her name. Tiana?
Plus, I love, within Princess of the Frog, I love that it's more than just Tiana. Like, I mean, her mom, Eudora, she's, like, a woman who, like, makes a living for her family, like, being a seamstress, and she's kicking butt, and she encourages Tiana to, like, achieve her dreams, and then she's, like, a single mom after the husband dies, and it's just, like, ugh.
Yeah. So, Tiana's inspiration is Leah Chase, who is a legendary New Orleans chef. She's actually known as the Queen of Creole Cuisine.
Love it.
And she has a restaurant called Dookie Chase's Restaurant, which is kind of what inspired Tiana owning her own restaurant.
Love it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So, like, Yeah. Plus, I mean, there's just so many. There's so many.
There's
I can't
so many.
choose. I can't choose. I know I said I'd choose Mirabelle, but I can't choose.
Yeah. I mean, even in that family, Louisa.
I
and
know.
Isabella.
And Isabella and Dolores.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was thinking of, I was like, oh, what about Coco? I was like, what about freaking what's her name?
Mama Imelda.
Yes.
Yeah. I
See?
love that family.
Even her, she was like, all this time, she was like strong ass lady, right? She was like, your father was a musician, and like, I mean, it kind of sucks that she was like, no music, but still.
Yeah. And I mean, even going more into like kind of the Pixar realm, Mrs. Incredible and Violet.
Yeah. I mean, Elastigirl.
More strong, badass women in superhero roles.
I mean, let's be honest. It's Helen, Violet, and Dash for like 90% of that movie.
Yes.
Like, they get like the most action out of anybody because like Mr. Incredible gets grabbed by Syndrome. And that blonde chick, I can't remember her name, but she's also pretty cool.
Yes. I forget her name too. Or, I know that she isn't Pixar. Edna, yeah. But I know that she isn't Pixar, but Judy Hopps.
I just watched that movie the other day too.
Yeah.
Jeez, so many good ones.
There's so many good ones.
So many.
We're gonna have to do another women's, like, celebrating female characters episode next year.
And it'll be only Disney. And it'll be 4 hours long. We're gonna talk about every single one.
I mean, we're kind of talking about Disney next week. Not characters. Real life people, but...
Yeah. But still.
But
Oh, jeez. Okay, should we move on? I feel like we've ranted about Disney for, like, ever.
Yeah, and shall I just mention my first one because she's from a Disney on Broadway show?
Jesus.
Being Catherine Plummer in Newsies.
She's also in the
No,
movie.
she isn't in the movie.
Oh, she's not in the movie?
So, in the movie, I know the history. No. So, there's a love interest. Her name is Sarah, and she's the sister of Davy and Les. And she does nothing to advance the plot. She's just there to be Jack's love interest.
That's
and then there's a
okay.
separate male writer guy. So then when they were making it into a Broadway musical, they decided to create this character of Catherine Plummer. Kind of based on real events, kind of not, because Joseph Pulitzer did have a daughter named Catherine, but she died at the age of 2. So, like, she wasn't really alive, but, like...
I mean, she lived for 2 years and then she died.
Yeah. But still. But I love her dearly. One, because we get a female writer in a time, again, like we were talking about with Peggy, where women were just expected to stay at home, kind of, and just help out.
And I feel like for Catherine more so than Peggy, just because, you know, when Peggy, you know, World War II, that's when the tide started to change.
Yeah.
And Catherine,
this is
you know...
1899 or 1902, whatever.
1901 or something,
1901, something like that. And I mean, she's the daughter of the richest man in New York, the King of New York, as they keep saying in the musical. Because he owns the newspaper The World, which was the biggest one.
Yeah. He was the King of New York until Rockefeller.
Yeah, he was the King of New York until Rockefeller.
Yeah. And he's still the King of New York, let's be honest, even though he's long gone.
Yeah. But her as a kind of sassy, strong woman is just amazing to see, especially like in a show that's dominated by men.
Well,
Let's be honest. Rightfully so.
Yeah, men playing boys, which I think is adorable. I love that the men play boys.
Yes. But, like, let's be honest, she's, like, besides Meta Larkin, she's the only girl in the show, and she really helps advance the plot.
Can we talk about Meta for, like, 2 seconds?
Yes.
What
Amazing.
a queen. What a queen.
I love her song.
Black female business owner.
Yep.
What a queen.
Love her.
And she's based off of a real person.
Yes. Yes, I did know that. I love her. But I mean, that song that she's, that Catherine
That's
sings,
Rich?
Right What, or, no.
Oh, Catherine. Sorry.
Yeah, Right What
Sorry.
You Know.
Yeah.
Just really is a character study for her.
Yeah. Watch What Happens really is. It really is. She's
Watch What Happens, not Right What You Know.
I mean,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know
That's
what you
how
mean.
it starts.
Yeah.
And then her coming up with the idea of writing the newspaper, the Newsies Crusade newspaper, at the end of the show.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a line where she's like, it's like, oh, Davy came up with this, you came up with this, now here's my way to finish it home. And Jack's like, oh, seriously? And she's like, what? Can I not come up with ideas because I'm a girl?
Yeah.
This is time for you to shut up now.
Yeah. And for those of you who haven't seen Newsies, it's still streaming on Disney Plus, and you should go watch it right now because it's amazing.
Yes. Specifically the live on Broadway one.
Yes. Also, she's the one who rallies the troops to get the boys out of jail.
Yep. But there were two other women that I wanted to kind of talk about that I was like in between with Catherine. One being Bea from Something Rotten, which I just saw the show a couple days ago, and I love her dearly because she's kind of based on the Shakespeare character of Beatrice.
Yeah.
Who, but with her in the plot, she's like, oh, my family needs money to survive. I'm going to take up these jobs, and disguises herself as a man so she can get these better paying jobs to provide for her family.
Which is awesome.
Yeah. And Right Hand Man, which is her song, is just amazing. I love it dearly. Especially because she's talking about, let me be this, like, let me help. And I remember there was a line, she's like, this is 1790. By 1800, we'll be equal to you guys. We have a woman on the throne.
I love that.
Yeah. And I just love her dearly. How, like, she's like, she saves the day at the end of the show. And I just love her dearly. But then the other one you kind of alluded to with Disney being Anastasia.
Yeah.
I love her.
I mean,
I specifically like the Broadway version better. Because it's more so based in the truth of the Anastasia tale.
Yeah.
Especially with the new villain that they put in, being Gleb. But I love her resilience in that musical where she's like, all I want to do is I want to know who I am. I don't want to lie. And how she's tricked. And the moment she finds out, she's like, I'm out of here. Bye.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great choices. Great choices. So I wanted to talk specifically about Jenna from Waitress, Jenna Hunterson, because I think she really is pretty. I think she's what are the words I'm trying to say here? I think she is a great example of a real person trying to escape a domestic violence relationship. I mean, her husband's terrible to her and, is a terrible person and,
Yeah, something I remember when I went to go see the show on Broadway about a year or so ago was on the downstairs level, like where the restroom was, it was all these, like, letters that had been sent in to the Waitress on Broadway team. And I read a couple of them, and they're like, this show helped me. Thank you, Waitress. You guys helped me get out of an abusive relationship.
Absolutely. I mean, that's like the main story is about her escaping that relationship and finding her power. I mean, yes, she falls in love with the doctor, but that's like really a side plot in my mind to the real struggle. So, I felt like I had to talk about her. Plus, I mean, like, Dawn and Becky, too. Like, what queens?
Yes. Also, speaking of queens...
You stole my segue!
You're welcome. The queens from 6.
That was my segue! That's what I was gonna say!
I mean, I'm sure you were about to say this, but I love them dearly. Especially,
all of them.
Yeah. Especially learning more, like, about the plot through the Live on Broadway soundtrack. Where
totally.
They're, like, competing, and then they're like, no,
why
Henry's
are
the
we
problem. We're like, why are we doing this? Like,
exactly? And that's what I love about it is like it starts off as like a competition and then it ends and they're like, oh my gosh, why are we competing? Why aren't we like joining forces? He's the problem, not us.
yeah.
Like,
And especially for the two cousins, Anne Boleyn and Catherine Parr,
yeah,
like, learning more about them, not only through the musical, but my own research I've done about the two post listening to their one song in the show
mm-hmm.
has just been influential to me, learning more about it. Because, you know, what do we learn in school about Anne Boleyn besides she was pretty and seductive and she
and then got decapitated.
separated the Church of England and then, or made the Church of England and then got decapitated.
Yeah, that's about it. She didn't even really make it. She just, they always phrase it as like she was the reason Henry did it. But like after looking more into her as a person, she was really the driving force behind it.
Yeah.
Like so many women in history. Like I know this isn't Broadway, but like we're hoping one day it will be, like Queen Charlotte.
Yeah. Or even oh, what is the line? It's in I Don't Need Your Love. It's Catherine. What is her last name? The last Parr. Right? That's the last one?
Yeah.
Did I say Catherine Parr for Howard?
Earlier?
Yeah.
I think you did, because I was like, I didn't know Catherine Parr and Anne Boleyn were cousins.
Catherine Howard and Boleyn were cousins.
Got it.
And they're the two that got beheaded. That's how you remember.
Yeah.
Cousins got beheaded.
There you go.
But yeah. But Parr, she is the reason, like, us as women know how to read. Because she fought for us so we could be able to read scripture.
Yep.
And the Bible.
Yeah. So.
Like, without these, like, strong women in history, like, that we're starting to get musicals about, like, there's a lot of stuff that we wouldn't have.
Oh, absolutely. Really quick, one more character that I really want to talk about, only because I've had to do like a really deep study about her recently, is Faye Apple from Anyone Can Whistle.
Okay.
It's a random ass show from Sondheim, like at the very beginning of Sondheim, like before he was even Sondheim, you know? Like this was like one of the first ones he did from like the 60s. Early 60s. It's almost golden age. It's so early 60s. Like,
so it was like right after West Side Story, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. And she's just such a super strong character. Like, she's a nurse. If you know, here we go. She's a nurse who takes care of people who have been put into this asylum, mostly wrongfully. Mostly people who are just kind of like exuberant and like.
Yeah.
You know, like who have like joie de vivre. They're like these people who get put in this asylum and like she fights for them and she's like, look, they're people. Even the ones who, you know, are having mental illness issues. They're people at the end of the day and they deserve to be treated with the same rights as everybody.
Yeah.
And she really fights for them to, you know, be treated as people. And I really like that. She's awesome. It's just really cool. The thing I don't like, though, really quick, Sondheim up there. I got a bone to pick with you, mister. Listen. So the asylum is called the Cookie Jar. And she refers to the patients as her cookies, and that bothers me so much because in the script it's just like and why do I want my cookies to have your waters? I'll tell you why. And I'm like, it's like, what? It's just so crazy. I don't know. That was my one gripe. I was like, she's an awesome character. Why did he make her call them cookies? That's just weird.
Another character I'd like to mention from a show I've talked about a lot on here and that I will talk about a little bit in fandom news. Nancy and Oliver. I love her. What?
I said, oh yes, I knew it was coming.
Are you surprised that wasn't my answer?
No. I knew it was going to be Catherine first.
Okay. But what I love about Nancy, especially in Oliver, which obviously was written by Charles Dickens, so it was written in a time, like in the 1800s when he was still around. So she doesn't have much agency in what's happening in the story, but she still is trying to make the world better for Oliver and the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Fagin's gang. And a moment that really shows to me, because I just rewatched my old production, because I was like trying to find a specific part that I wanted to show my friend, so she sings a song in the first act, which is called "It's a Fine Life," and it kind of hints at her unhappy marriage and how she isn't happy in her life, but hey, it's a life that she has, kind of, and how she makes the best of it. But they reprise it, and it's a whole like argument song where like it's kind of like Your Fault style, where like everyone kind of joins in, and her whole thing in that whole scene is protecting Oliver and the boys.
Mm-hmm.
And making sure that Oliver doesn't grow up the way she did, and making sure that he gets out of Fagin's gang and has a life that he deserves.
That's a great one.
That's how she ends up dying in the end, is trying to bring Oliver back to that life he deserves.
Which is heroic.
Yeah.
I thought of 2 other ones while we were sitting here talking about Nancy.
Okay.
Because you said things that reminded me of these characters. It's just so many. Baker's wife.
Yeah.
And the witch. And Red Riding Hood.
And Cindy.
And Cinderella. And Jack's
So basically
mom. Literally all the women into the woods.
Yeah.
Except for the stepmom and the sisters. They kind of suck.
And even Cinderella's mom. Like, tree mom, not stepsister mom. Or stepmom.
Good or bad?
Good.
Yeah, fair.
Because she's telling her, like, is this really what you wish for?
Yeah.
And is trying to guide Cinderella, like, on the right path from the beginning.
Good call.
Even in ghost form.
Good call. Good call.
Another woman that I wouldn't include in this list